Welcome to Morocco Method, where natural things happen. We have a lot to cover. We started last week. This is going to be a series to grow luxurious hair, but it's going to cover all 5 spokes in the wheel. So you'll find out what that means. So growing hair isn't just shampoo, grow hair. You have to do a lot of things to grow luxurious hair, and we have to be committed. Really have to be committed. So I wrote 4 books. They're all free. They're on MoroccoMethod.com. If you guys got a paper and pencil, pen, I would suggest to jot a few things down. But I do want you to take a few notes when I say, if you want to write this down. So I strongly suggest, I wrote 4 books. They're all free. Go to MoroccoMethod.com. And then on the top, you'll see resources. And you click on resources and drop down, and it starts off with our story. So I would strongly recommend watching that video. And then right below that, so it's our story under resources. And then right underneath that, the books start with, the first book is Awaken Your Roots. So I highly recommend watching. It's an audio, and you could either read it or listen to it. Awaken Your Roots. It's really, really good to get educated about Morocco Method represents. And then right below that is The Escape Artist. That's when I'm 17 and I get really bored. I am very bored living in this small town in Connecticut. So I quit my high school year and go in the Navy. And I get stationed. When I get in the Navy in 1961, war is declared with Cuba and Russia, and I get stationed in North Africa. So it's a pretty interesting book. And right below that is when I get out of the Navy and go into New York City, like 1964, and it's The Big Apple, One Bite at a Time. That book brings you up to date how I became very famous working for Kenneth Salon in New York City from 64 to 69. About 69 when I left. Then I went abroad and went to Europe for 2.5 years. But working at Kenneth's was quite a education, to say the least, because no one really gets to see the super rich and the super famous at that level. You really get to see how the most powerful people in the world really live. But Kenneth was Michelangelo. What he did, no one could do. And Rosemary Sorrentino was Leonardo da Vinci. What she did in color, no one can do. So it's like, how come? Well, like, there's only one Michelangelo. Here's a canvas. Here's some paint. Here's a brush. Paint me a Leonardo da Vinci. Only Leonardo can do that, right? So when you sat down at Kenneth's station, he basically didn't cut your hair, he shaped hair. And he redesigned the whole structure of your growth patterns. So you have natural parts, you have natural movement, you have all these natural parts of your hair. Like my left side grows really stronger than my right side. So my right side is thinner and my left side is thicker. And we all have idiosyncrasies in our hair. So we're not the same by any means. So when you go to a real master, they take all that into consideration. Your face, the structure of your bones, the hair flow, the natural movements, the parts, all of that is taken into consideration. Kenneth would shape your hair, boom, you were transformed. Just like Jackie Kennedy, when she first went to Kenneth, he shaped her hair and he completely changed her. And the next week, she wanted every news magazine article in the world covered her because of her hair transformation. Yep, Kenneth did that. And Rosemary did color that no one in the world could do. She did the original tortoise shell streaks. So she did sun streaking She was the original one. It was called tortoiseshell streaks back in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. So I left Kenneth 1969 because of the chemicals. No matter how fabulous they looked, no matter how extraordinary your hair was, all of those gases and all of those chemicals seep 70% down into our scalp, into our skin, and they basically settle in our organs. So I'm a real wellness coach. I teach health, wellness. I teach medical, ethereal, qigong. So I tell everybody, my body's 82. My body's been here since 1943. So my body's 82 years old. I have to take care of it. It's my responsibility. But I'm 23. So that's the difference. I would like everyone to really come to an attitude. I want you to see yourself as you want to become. So just visualize where you want to go, visualize how you're going to get there, but visualize the finished you. And that's the attitude you need to take. So attitude is everything. And of course, gratitude, we're very grateful for all that we have. We're grateful for all that we do not have. But I want to bring everybody into, first of all, our hair care products. So I'm explaining, obviously, it's not, here's a shampoo, shampoo your hair, transformation. No way. But it's like, what do you shampoo your hair with? What are you styling your hair with? Are you blow drying your hair? Are you using chemicals? You need to stop that. So if you really want luxurious hair, it's like having a plant, a really fabulous plant. So you visualize you have this beautiful plant, really healthy, really natural, and you go over there and you get a blow dryer and you start blow drying the leaves. Is that plant going to be happy? No. Are the leaves going to be healthy? No. Then you also go over there with some hairspray, spray that on the plant. Do a little bit of bleach and dye on it. And then take some chemicals and pour that into the soil. So that's what we're doing to our bodies. So I want everyone to really come to, like, we really need to be healthy, we need to be happy, and we need to be strong. Strong meaning that we really have to take control of our bodies. We have 5 bodies. This is what I teach in ethereal qigong. You have your physical body, which we're bringing in, and then we're coming into the emotional body, which is completely separate, our feelings. Then we have our intellectual body, that's completely separate, thought. And then we have our energy body. You can call it your sexual body, energy body, whatever you want to call it. The most highest level of energy that you bring in is your energy body. And then you have the ethereal body. This is the mystery, the magic, always the source, the creation. So to get healthy, happy, and strong, you need to bring these 4 bodies together, unite them, and then the ethereal body comes into play with all of them. So how do we start? How do we begin? So my mantra is little by little, do it daily. It's built me an empire. It's little by little, do it daily. So you don't have to like, oh, I'm going to do New Year's Eve resolution, get all hepped up. And then January 5th, you're like, yeah, January 10th, like that's enough of that. By January 20th, it's kaput. Because you start off with this huge, I'm going to do this, but your 4 bodies have to come into harmony. You can emotionally think you're going to do this, or emotionally feel you're going to do this, or intellectually think you're going to do this, or energetically or even physically. But until you get those four bodies to come together, that's our attitude, and bring them together. That's really what we're aiming at. So I'm bringing a plant into the story to visualize that you really have to have all natural hair care products. So MoroccoMethod.com obviously is, I consider it the most natural hair care line in the world, because we are 100% botanical, sea, earth. We're the five elements. We're fire, air, earth, water. We even use ethereal products in our formulas. And we're very macrobiotic, vegan, all natural. So search and find dental products that are natural, skincare products that are natural, hair care products that are natural, because our health is everything. And I'm sure the 20-year-olds really have tremendous amounts of energy in their body. But as you start hitting your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you really want to be healthy. Our health is our wealth. It's the most powerful thing that we have, is our health. And we don't want to mess that up. Our physical health, our emotional health, our mental health, and our energy health. So all of those you want to bring together. All right. So hair thinning and hair loss is a big, big, big problem today. Why is that? Well, because the FDA has allowed huge corporations to bring in chemicals. So back in the 1940s, during World War II, they needed to find something to decrease the factories. They needed to degrease the factories, to clean them, to clean the floors. It was all greasy. So they created sodium lauryl sulfate, which is a sulfuric acid. It's an acid. And that basically foamed and it degreased the factories. And then Breck, in the early 1950s, Breck, you remember that big corporation, Breck, B-R-E-C-K? They took sodium lauryl sulfate, that foaming agent, and I don't know if you guys remember, I remember it very well. This lady shampooed her hair and she had this mountain of foam on her head. And they called that the ultimate in hair, the ultimate. And what it was all chemicals. So today, we get now in the 2010s, 2020s, we're realizing how destructive chemicals really are. And I attribute it all, I would not say all, but mostly to Google. And now you have AI, so you can ask it questions and they, within seconds, find out everything. Boom, there you are. All this amazing information. But the sodium lauryl sulfate got to be such a bad word 20 years ago. Everybody was like, oh, this is really bad. It's drying up my hair. It's killing my hair. It's actually going right down into the roots. Yeah, right down into the roots, because it absorbs 70% and down into the growth pattern. And people started having hair loss, started experiencing their hair thinning. So they changed the sodium lauryl sulfate name to 7 different names. And you can Google it all. I was over at Whole Foods, and because I don't really follow this too much anymore, but I was over at Whole Foods and I was looking at different shampoos, different conditioners. So I'm really bringing this up because when you go to buy anything, look at the ingredient list. Please look at the ingredient list. Most of it is deadly. You don't want to buy it and you don't want to use it on your dental care, skin care, hair care. anything for your body. It's not caring, it's destructive. So what I was looking at is there's numbers. Like when they do C13, P20, a G18, that's literally paint. It's true. It's what when you paint your house, when you paint anything, it's paint. And that's how they color these hair care ingredients. The formula has paint in it. And then it has all these different words for sodium lauryl sulfate, which is pretty shocking. And then a lot of it, if you can't pronounce the word, it's a chemical. Like I can't possibly pronounce this, but it's caprylhydroxamic acid. That is not a botanical. That is not a natural ingredient. It's like so long, you can't even. And then the other one is GLUCONOLACETONE 1,2-hexadrol oxonine aspartic acid, and then it's beyond chloride, calcium, glucoside. So you get my message. These are not, and is the label says that it's certified organic. It's like literally saying that this company is certified organic and all the ingredients are organic. That doesn't mean they're natural. It just means they're certified by the FDA, by the government. It has nothing to do with being natural at all. And the last thing I'm going to say is the word fragrance. That's so misleading. What is the fragrance? You know, if they're going to put a fragrance into your dental, skincare, hair care products, you need to know what that is. If they just say fragrance, then that's not legal. You can actually contact the company and demand to know what it is. Because by law, anyone can contact any company and find out exactly what they're talking about. Right. So petroleum, that's a very good question. Is petroleum a natural ingredient? Well, petroleum is what you basically make plastic with. That's what petroleum is. So when you're doing styling products, that's another thing I want to bring up. So it may be a natural petroleum, but you don't want to put it on your body like Vaseline. You can put it on your skin, but you really don't want to put it on your hair. It's going to go down into your growth patterns. It's going to go down into your scalp, and it's going to plug up your entire growth patterns, especially the sebaceous glands, your oil glands, which are critical. So a lot of the styling products are petroleum. If you look at practically all the styling products that I've looked at the ingredients, it's all coming out to be petroleum. And I've seen children, 13, 15, 17, young, really young, 50, 80% hair thinning on very young children. And I ask them, what are you using on your hair? So I know what they're using. I don't know the brand, but I know it's all styling products. And so all our children, our grandchildren are losing tremendous amounts of hair follicles from using styling products because they're liquid plastic. And you really just visualize you're putting liquid plastic all over your scalp, right? Boom, you're leaving it there. That's going down into your growth patterns, down into your roots, down into your sebaceous glands, and that's going to cause tremendous hair loss. So for all of us who have hair thinning problems, hair loss problems, we need to get educated. I really request that you guys, when you go into buy anything, look at the ingredient list. And if you cannot pronounce the word, it's not real. It's made in the laboratory. So I'm glad you're bringing that up about petroleum. Yeah, not on your hair, not on your scalp. So we have sebaceous glands. They're really the thickest right back here. Sebaceous glands. And when you feel this is nice and thick, and that's where most of our oil glands are. But if you come up here to the hairline, you can hardly squeeze it because we don't have that much scalp up front. And so you don't have very many sebaceous glands at the top level. So that's why when we all start losing our hair, it starts at the hairline and it starts receding back, 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 back. And eventually the top goes. This will stay pretty thick. This will be thick. This will go. But the hairline is the first one to go right in here. So what I recommend, Morocco Method, we don't just shampoo and you're going to grow fabulous hair. You really need to do the spokes in the wheel. So one of them is that we have this incredible scalp massager. I created this decades ago. It's all natural, 100% rubber. So all the scalp massagers I've ever seen in any of the stores or any place you can buy them, they're either plastic, which is very irritating to the scalp. It's not going to do very much. Or they're nylon, which is very irritating. But this is 100% rubber. From what I understand, for the last 30 years, Morocco Method is the only one that has 100% rubber. I'm going to basically go little by little. So what I do first thing in the morning, I'm going to start off with my routine. I'm going to go through it really fast. And I want to bring you to how to grow luxurious hair. Like, look at me. I'm 82. Look at my hair. It's thinning in the front, but I have all these different methods not to lose it. I've been doing this since the 1960s, and I still have at 82 a nice head of hair. But you got to do all these different things. It's a methodology. This is an education. We don't sell, we educate. So getting back to first thing in the morning, when I get up in the morning, I get back in bed, or you could sit down in your meditation spot, or you can lay down, but just get very comfortable. And I teach everyone James Nestor. So the book is called Breathe by James Nestor. I highly recommend it. James Nestor, Nestor. And he went around the world for 6 years documenting all the breathing masters, put it all together. He's a scientific journalist, and I highly recommend just go to YouTube, put in James Nestor, boom, up will come hundreds of videos, hundreds of podcasts, and I highly recommend watch anyone for just 3 minutes, and you'll be shocked. I guarantee anyone, any video, any podcast, you don't have to pick and choose. This is how shocking. No one's taught conscious breathing. No one. I was blessed in the 1960s to meet a master, Bruce Lee's teacher in New York City, in Chinatown, Master Feng Yi, who was an 8th-degree black belt. And basically, we became friends, and he taught me Qigong and breathing. I was in my 20s. I certainly was beyond healthy at the time, still am. But I was very blessed to start doing Qigong 55 years ago and do conscious breathing. And all the masters that I've met throughout my lifetime, they all teach breathing. If they're a master of any wellness industry, I don't care what it is, yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, whatever you want to do, breathing is the most powerful thing we can do. So I'm going to basically just bring you into a very fast conscious breathing exercise that I do every morning for 50 years. And it's to remind me to consciously breathe all day long. Okay, so very fast. The body is breathing. It's unconscious. The heart's pounding. Blood is pumping. All that's going on. You're not doing that. The body is basically breathing. It's called survival breathing. And it's okay, but it's not healthy. So if you basically just want to, let's place our attention on our breath right now. Just be aware that your body's breathing and don't alter it, don't change it. Don't change anything. Just be aware that your body's breathing. And my hand is going to show you the level of oxygen that's happening. So your body's breathing and the oxygen is right here. It may go to here. I doubt it. But you're breathing in and out very, very shallow. And throughout the whole day, evening and night, you're going to hold your breath for long periods of time. Whenever you get stressed, whenever you get depressed, overwhelmed, anxious, whatever news is coming in, you're going to hold your breath. You're not going to breathe at all. So what I'm leading to is oxygen is the critical component to feed our cells. We have 30 to 40 trillion cells in the body that need to get fed oxygen. The brain by itself takes up 20% of the oxygen. That's our thinking apparatus. Over 20% we need just to think properly. And the rest of the body needs oxygen. So what I'm leading to is you basically, the body's breathing. This is unconscious. It's called survival breathing. And now this has been known for 8,000 years by really, really masterful people is how to breathe consciously. So this is the number one breath exercise out of thousands of them. This is number one. And from this comes thousands of exercises. So I'm just going to teach you the foundation of conscious breathing. Okay? So you breathe in from your nose, never your mouth. The mouth does two things. It talks, it eats, nothing else. The nose does 30, that's 30 functions, 30. And it's the size of your fist. So right here, imagine that right inside, right in the back of the nose, it's this big, and it's doing 30 functions. Very, very, very healthy. So you want to breathe only in from the nose, and you're going to breathe with me down, okay? So we're going to breathe in 1, come down 2, come down 3, come down 4, and now you're right here below your belly button. This is called the dantian. This is your furnace. This is the powerful energy. This is all of your yang energy right in here below the belly button called the dantian. So you hold it for 1 moment. It's called a pause. And now we're going to breathe out. You can breathe out from your mouth or nose. It doesn't matter. You breathe out 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, so let's do that one more time. Put your hands on your tummy because you're going to allow your tummy to get large. As you breathe in, you're going to let your stomach get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's allowing the oxygen to come all the way down. And then as you breathe out, you're going to push your tummy in, and that's going to get all the carbon dioxide to come out. All right, so very basic, 4 and 4. So let's do that. From the nose only, let's go ahead and breathe in 1. Stomach gets bigger, 2. Bigger, 3. 4. Now the oxygen is down into the dantian. Now it's feeding 30 trillion cells, oxygen. I'm making a big deal out of it because it's the biggest deal of our health. There's nothing more powerful than conscious breathing and getting oxygen down into the dantian. Nothing. Then you pause. Then as you breathe out, you push your stomach in. So you push in 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. And you do that throughout the day, evening, and nighttime. So this is my reminding factor. First thing in the morning, I lay in bed for about 15, 20 minutes. I always start off with the body's breathing to remind me, and then I consciously do the breathing, and I do several different breathing exercises. Then I do a bunch of other stuff. I get out of bed. And the next thing that I do, as soon as I get out of bed, I sit on the side of the bed, or you can stand up. I suggest, if you can, sit on the side of your bed. And what you want to do is you want to open up this channel, the neck to the brain, because the brain needs to communicate to the entire body thousands of messages. And it can't do it because right here, this is called stress. This is the stress factor right in here. It's also in your hips, your knees, your ankles, your wrists, but I don't have time to get into that. So first thing in the morning, what I do is I take my hands nice and soft, very soft, and I brush up. From here, I just brush up and I'm breathing in from the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I breathe up, pause, and breathe out. Again, 4 counts down. And I do that twice. So brush up, 4 counts, breathing in, brush up, release, breathe out, 4 counts. Then I go ahead and do my Qigong exercises. And I always get the hot kettle warm water on. I get warm water. Yeah, you don't want hot, you don't want cold. You want to get a big mug of warm water. Doesn't matter how big it is, because I fill it up 2 or 4 times. And I get a fresh lemon. I put the fresh lemon in the warm water. That's for your acid, for your acidity, to get your pH balance perfect. First thing in the morning, critical. So you don't drink anything, no juice, no coffee, 0. That's all not going to hydrate. It's going to dehydrate your body. The first thing the body wants is water for at least 20 minutes. So first thing in the morning, I get a big mug of warm water, fresh lemon, and I sip that. But I sip that for 3-4 hours. And if you ladies or anybody wants to lose weight, that's the ultimate way to do it. The easiest way, the fastest way, the most, right? It's not going to be very difficult. As you're sipping this warm water all day, your body's feeling full. It doesn't feel hungry. So you're not going to eat that much. And the older you get, the less you need to eat. So I eat 1 meal a day. I eat between 3:30 to 5:30. It's called alternate fasting. All of my mentors that I follow all do alternate fasting. Once you get over 55, 65, the body doesn't need that much food anymore. But do what you want. I'm not telling you to go on a fast. I'm just saying that the first thing in the water, first thing in the morning, warm water with lemon, sip that. It's going to really help your hair. This is all coming back to luxurious hair. So these are all spokes in a wheel, but I'm asking you to do this little by little, right? Not all at once, little by little. And then every product has a video. This is strongly recommended that you guys get educated. And every time you use a product, watch the video on MoroccoMethod.com. Do the product. Watch the video first. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Now I'm out of bed. Now I had my warm water. This is what I do. First thing in the morning, I tongue scrape my tongue, get all that yucky stuff off of it. Yep, yucky. Out. Do my morning routine, take a shower. Then I take I have 2 scalp massagers. They're rubber. And I start right here in the forehead, and I start massaging really, really strong. Yep, you're not going to tear your hair out. This is blood and air circulation. Your body needs to get this circulation. Your hair, you're at the very top of the body. Right here is your crown chakra. It gets the least amount of blood and air circulation. Right in here, right? Down on your feet, you get tons of it. But up here, hardly any. So your hair, your scalp, needs to get blood and air circulation. So get a scalp massager. Start right in here, and I massage the crown, the top. I go in my forehead. Now I'm in the sides. Now I'm in the back. I go from one side here. Ooh, nice. Back there, nice. And I'm massaging my whole scalp. Don't forget the hairline right there. Oh, feels wonderful. That feels really good. All right. So I do that for 1-3 minutes every morning. that I have one by my desk where my computer is. If I feel tired, I'll start massaging my body. Yeah, you can massage your whole body with this. And I leave one in the car. So if I'm ever driving and I feel really woozy, I get the scalp massager and I start massaging my face. Nice. That feels really good. Blood in air. Very healthy. You want beautiful skin? There you go. But for hair, this is it. Then you get the brush. The brush is designed for your sebaceous glands, your oil glands. And as I said earlier, they're very thick skin back here. So you have a lot of oil glands back here. But here, very little. So I've learned this when I was living in England. I was in Stratford-upon-Avon, where Shakespeare lives. And I was sitting on the Swan Lake, where oh God, what memories, where Shakespeare lives, Stratford-upon-Avon. And I was watching the swans. And then it really came, wow, look what they're doing. The swans were literally pulling out their wing, and they were going in the back and plucking out the oil with their beak. They were taking the oil out of the back, and they were preening every feather with the oil. Then they went back there with their beak, and they were picking up all that oil in the back, and they were bringing out the wing, and they were literally pruning out the feathers. They were oiling their feathers, and they did. I was like, this is amazing. So that's how I become a hair shaman, because I've had extraordinary insights on all of these different routines, these rituals, or rituals that have been going on for thousands of years. So anyway, so that brought me to come to, we need a brush. So I have a natural brush, all natural. They're boar bristle. And some of them are fine for fine hair. Some of them are for regular hair. They have a little bit of plastic in it to give you some. But if your hair is thin, you just want a nice fine brush. And now I want you to go and watch the video on hair brushing. So what you do is you bend over, because you want to get to the nape, right? And you want to start brushing from back here as you bend over and start brushing forward. So that's taking all of the excess oil out of the back of the nape. You're brushing forward so that oil is coming in right to the ends of your hair. Now your brush is full of your natural sebaceous gland oil. So you start right in the line and you start brushing forward. Right there, boom, right there. So you're taking the excess oil from the brush, which is the most fabulous elixir in the world, because all of you produce your own individual oil, and you brush that back into the hairline. And you do that 3 times. So again, you bend over all the way down, you start brushing from the nape, right there, and you brush down, down, but don't brush under. No, brush from the back down for a couple moments, longer better, to fill that brush up with your natural oil. Don't worry, you're not going to wear it out. This is a lot of oil back here. Then you come back and you brush it up, and then you're putting it right into the hairline and across the hair all the way to the ends. So eventually you're getting from the back to the front, from the front to the back. And you do that every morning. And sometimes in the afternoon, if I feel like I don't have much, I'm not at my peak, I'll scalp massage. Then I'll get the brush, bend over, brush, stand up and brush. Put my hair back where it was. So this is one of the spokes in the wheel is blood and air and your oil. So this is your sebaceous glands, right? Yeah, this is the best oil in the world for you. You produce the ultimate. That's why you want to keep your hair, your scalp, your roots, your growth pattern as healthy and natural as possible. without bleach, without dyes, without chemicals. So many of these products contain such horrible, and I don't want to get negative, deadly chemicals over a period of time. They're going to settle down into your organs. It's going to be a disaster. So I hope that really impresses you that we have to maintain our bodies. We're getting lazier, more convenienced, less and less involved physically. And we are. It's obvious. We're just sitting around with the computers, and now we have the phones, then we have TV, blah, blah, blah. So you need to get out, about, walk. So the best exercise, the easiest, is walking. Just not have to run, walk. Just go outside. I have a military service dog, which I love, Fiore. And basically, even when I don't want to go, I have to go. Like, she takes me out for a walk every morning, every evening, and I feel great. You get that blood and air circulating. So that's a whole, so one of the spokes in the wheels is exercise, food. Anyone who knows me knows that all my food comes from the farmer's market. Yeah, we have 7 a week. I live in California. So Saturday and Sunday are my ultimate markets. I'm posting videos. Where do I post them? YouTube, I guess. Yeah, so please go to my YouTube. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Share it with a friend. Give it a like, hit subscribe. I really need to grow this channel to get people healthier, happier, and stronger. So subscribe to the channel, MoroccoMethod.com. Let's make that happen. So I've been posting videos on the farmer's market. When I go to individual farmers that I really like, and then they explain, what their actual products are doing, how fabulous they are, and the difference between them and being in a store. So you're going to eat. You might as well eat the healthiest food you possibly can get. And support your local farmers, for God's sake. That's a big part of it. So I go to the market once, twice a week. I get all my food, and I'm basically not telling everybody, do what you want. But I do a lot of wok cooking, a lot of fast food. I'm Italian. I like to cook. I've been raised cooking. I really enjoy it. And I love it. It's like meditation. So when I'm cooking, it's like meditation. It's not a job. It's like, well, it's wonderful. In the evening, I don't have a television, never had a television, never will. I basically cook dinner. Like I told you, I have one meal a day. I'm not suggesting people do this. I'm just trying to give you my routine. At 82, I have no doctors. I have no medication, 0. No drugs, 0. No surgeries, 0. And most of all, no pain. None. 0. Well, they come, but I do stuff to stop it. I will not live with pain. So I have over 350 students in my medical ethereal Qigong, and I'm basically working with them 3 times a week. Then I have privates. I basically do Zooms. I don't do privates anymore. I don't have any more time, but I do Zoom groups. Go out and find yoga, but please do a beginning class. Don't do middle, advanced, anything. So when you go out to find Tai Chi or Qigong or yoga, please start at kindergarten level, because you can get hurt. Yeah, you can. People go to yoga, they're in advanced class, boom, it's too difficult, they never go back. That's sad, because you need the blood and air circulation. You need to stretch mildly. Later on, you can do what you want. But in the beginning, you just get that blood and air circulation going through the body. So little by little, that's the mantra I'm trying to impress upon everybody. that you need to start having this vision. You need to start having this vision of what you look like, what you want to look like, and where you're going. So visualize this extraordinary, luxurious hair and skin and your whole physical body being there. That's where you want to go. There you see it, you visualize it. Every morning when you meditate or you don't meditate, visualize where you're going, what you look like. And then every day, little by little, and I want to make that a big deal for you because it is, nothing happens all at once, boom, fast. It's not going to last. Do it little by little, daily. Scalp massager, brushing. Then you have so many different things to bring in. Let's see what we have here. Styling products. All right, so we start off with Sapphire Volume Mist. This is our hairspray. Do you know regular hairspray? If you go to a salon or one of those stores that sell salon products and they sell hairspray, you know what it is? Lacquer. 100% lacquer. Hairspray is paint. 100% lacquer. And it's FDA approved. Now, I just want to shock everybody because I've been in the industry 60 years. And I'm, the grandfather to the wellness industry, so I know what I'm talking about. So you don't want hairspray. You're spraying paint, lacquer on your hair to hold your hair. So we have natural, very natural ways to do it. One is our volumizer. You can spray that on. It's very light, but we consider that a hairspray. Number two, if that's not strong enough, we have our Blood of a Dragon styling gel. This is aloe vera. It's 100% natural. This is what I use. I use the Blood of a Dragon styling. I love it. And after I shower, dry my hair, I rub that in my hair so it's not dry. And that lubricates it and basically moisturizes it all day long. That's not enough. Then we have the 24/7 styling gel. And this is very strong. This is 100% natural. Check out the ingredient list. Very pasty. You take that, probably for, I don't know, shorter hair. You want to spike your hair up. You want to do all these new modern things with your hair. There you go, 24/7 styling gel, Morocco Method International. So you have these three alternatives to style your hair 100% natural. Shampoo. So which shampoo and products do you recommend to get started with your products? If we have thinning hair, there are so many that I find is confusing. All right, that's a very good question. Thank you. So 50 years ago, I decided to create 5 shampoos. Now, my buddy, Aubrey Organics, Aubrey Hampton, who owned, no longer, doesn't exist any longer, Aubrey Organics, would create 3 to 5 shampoos a year, every year. So Aubrey Organics had like 30, 50, 100 shampoos and conditioners and hair care products. And I go to the stores today, and every company has dozens of shampoos. Color shampoos, thin shampoos, normal, thin, all kind of junk. So we have 5 shampoos. So the question is, how do I start? Well, what is your scalp like? Is your scalp oily? Is it normal? Or is it dry? So that's basically the barometer where you start. So if you go to our website and look at MoroccoMethod.com, let me finish off with these. Which shampoos and products do I start off with? Then I'll get to the other questions. So you want to find out, like, does your scalp dry? Does your hair dry? Or is your scalp oily? So we have very specific products for dry scalp, oily scalp, normal scalp. So find out. Go on to MoroccoMethod.com, start off with that. Start off with that shampoo or that conditioner. We have 5 conditioners, 5 shampoos: fire, air, earth, water, ether. So if you want, oh yeah, here's something that we just started doing. I think that you may all be very happy about it. So probably within less than 2 weeks, we're going to come out with a 8-ounce spray pump bottle that's environmentally correct. So no more plastic. We're getting rid of the plastic. This is going to be 8 ounces. So now we have the 12, we have the 2. This is going to be an 8-ounce for $17. Very affordable. Very affordable. And everyone who uses our products knows that when you start using it, you can add water to it. We are so concentrated. Very, very, very super concentrated. So as I start using the shampoos, I keep adding water, shake it up, continue shampooing, add water, shake it up, and it still cleanses the hair because it's so super concentrated. It goes a long ways. So we also, I want to mention, we have a coupon code for you guys today. It's LUNAR, LUNAR 25. So just go into our website. LUNAR 25 gives you 25% off the entire store. For new people, welcome aboard. Welcome to MoroccoMethod.com. We want to get you educated. We want to keep educating our loyal customers, new customers. We get educated about everything. Our health is our wealth. There's nothing more important. And as you get older, I can assure you, your health will be number 1. Your health will be number 2. Your health will be number 3. Because I don't care how wealthy you are or how whatever, if you're not healthy, you're going to be kaput. So our health is everything. And you want to start off when you're really young, maintaining that, staying that way till we take our last breath. So yeah, we're going to have these bottles coming out hopefully by next week. They're 8 ounces, $17, and they're environmentally containers. So that's going to be very exciting. So I hope that answers your question. Please go to MoroccoMethod.com. Look at our products. There's a video on every product. And see, and you can tell your scalp is very dry. Is your scalp very oily? Or is it okay? It's pretty normal. And then start off there. But everyone knows who knows me that I suggest alternating, because it's like eating broccoli and that's all you eat for a month. Broccoli, nothing but broccoli. Your body is going to be not only unhealthy, it's not going to be happy. So I designed the 5-element shampoos so that you can alternate. And what I do is I take 5 shampoos and put them in my shower, and they're lined up. But I always pick up from the left, always, with all my products, and I use it, then I put it back on the right. So when I go back in tomorrow, I don't have to think, what did I use yesterday? No. So whatever's on the left, that's what I pick up. When I'm done with it, I put it on the right. I do that with my clothes too. So I have all my shirts, all my pants, all my stuff lined up, and I pick up from the left. And when I'm finished, after I launder it, I put it back on the right. And then whatever is left on the left on my clothes, if I don't wear it, it stays on the left. And then after 6 months in a year, I don't care what it is, if I haven't worn it, I give it away. Because it's just plugging up my closet. It may be fabulous. I love it. I bought it. It has a great label. Oh, I don't want to part with it. I paid too much money for it. No. I pick up from the left, put it back on the right, and after a year, if it's still there, goodbye. But alternate all your products. All right, so let's take a look at some more questions.
Someone's asking the second.
So spiritually, yeah, the hair is an antenna, brings about intuition. To what extent do you agree with this? 1,000,000%. So the hair is, I'll tell you what the hair is. There's 5 types of hair on the body. There's 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 elements, 5 senses, 5 types of hair on the body. I teach this: fire, air, earth, water, ether. So when we're coming into this planet Earth, we come in as spirits. We're spiritual. We don't come in with a physical body, right? So how do we come here? Well, I'll make it really simple. We come here spiritually. Then, when we take our first breath, the very first breath, getting back to James and Esther and breathing, so critical, the body starts activating. And then the body activates, and now it's material, right? This is the whole material world. Trees, shoes, cars, houses, body, material. So you come here spiritually, you arrive here, material, and when you leave, everything stays here, material. Nothing goes with you. Boom. That's another thing that I teach. I teach spiritual Qigong at very high levels. So what hair is, it's ethereal. Yeah, ether. Fire, air, earth, water, all belonging to planet Earth, and then ether. That's divine, the unknown, the mysterious. So we have a physical, emotional, mental, energy body, and ethereal body. How do you come in contact with the ethereal body? Well, that's a huge class. I teach that, but that's very advanced. So what I'm coming to is, yes, the hair is ether. It is alive. It is very intuitive. It is so powerful. It's very, very powerful. So you want to become sensitive. That's why you don't want to put chemicals on your hair. You don't want to blow dry the hair. You don't want to bleach it or dye it. We have henna. You guys want to color your hair. We have 7 colors, all natural, 100%, grown in India, plant-based henna. Check it out. But getting back to ether, so the hair basically is ethereal. So between the spiritual world and the material world, the third world is ether. That's the ethereal world. It exists. It exists. Spiritual world exists. Material world exists. The ethereal world exists. It's outer, inner, third world. So it's the outer world, the inner world. The third world is of ether, ethereal. So the 5 types of hair on the body does 5 different functions. So we have the crown chakra, which is obviously very spiritual because it's the crown. It's a chakra, and that's the hair on your head. And the second type of hair is eyebrows, eyelashes, nose, ears. That's the second type of hair on the body. Third is the beard, facial hair. The facial hair is the third type of hair on the body, and they do different functions. The fourth is the body hair, right? We have body hair. That's 4. And the 5th is pubic hair. That's the 5th type of hair. Now, all 5 types of hair do 5 different types of energy work. That's very advanced, but I'm giving you just a brief. Yes, hair is very spiritual. Hair is very ethereal. It's absolutely ether, and it's extraordinary. So you want to keep the hair as healthy as possible. So that's really what we're having this whole series on, is growing luxurious hair. Healthy, strong, luxurious hair. Then we have our whole lunar calendar, what we'll get into next week. I did it last week. We'll review the lunar calendar for cutting hair next week. My hair is scalp or dry. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Your hair is dry because you're using chemicals, or you're doing some type of chemical on your hair. And over a period of time, it's basically drying out your sebaceous glands. It's destroying your growth patterns, your roots. It's drying everything out. So you basically come to spray your hair with volumizer mist and moisturize it throughout the day. Start using natural products. And the hair wants to get oiled. Yeah, your hair wants to get oiled. Your body wants to get oiled. Basically, this is Euro oil that we produce from the beginning of time from Morocco Method. So you can take a couple of drops, put it on the ends of your hair. If you don't want your hair too oily, you just take a couple drops, put it on the ends, then brush it through the hair. Or if you want more, obviously I take it, put it in palms of my hand. I don't take a lot. I put a couple drops on, rub it together, then I brush it through my hair. So this is very good for dry scalp hair. Excellent. Then we have the elixirs, which I won't get into today. I'll get into that next week. So alternate the 5 shampoos and conditioners. I prefer the pine shale shampoo and use it and leave it in conditioner. Yeah, if you prefer it, but like I prefer pasta, but I don't eat pasta 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Or pizza. I'm Italian. I alternate. So do whatever you want. I'm here to educate you to grow luxurious hair. I am not here to change you. I am here to change myself. Seriously. And you're not here to change me. You're here to change yourself. Please change yourself. This is where you are. Raise the bar. Get higher, higher, higher. Raise the bar little by little every day. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. So next week, I'll hit the basics again, very little. I'm going to continue this series every Sunday. So if you guys miss it, it's going to be on YouTube, right? They can just go to, where do they go? YouTube, MoroccoMethod.com.
Yeah.
And you'll find, how do they find it? I'm asking, I have a tech guy here because I'm zero tech. I don't like technology. I never did. I never will. And I have a guy here who's technical and he does all that stuff. I'm an artist. Everyone doesn't do everything, but I tell everybody, you all have an inner talent. Every one of you has an inner talent. When you find your inner talent, you will live in bliss for the rest of your lives. You will never work again. Once you find your inner talent and you live it and become it, your life will be blissful. We all have problems. We always have horrible things crashing down. You solve the problem, move on. It's a great life if you don't weaken. Don't get weak, get strong. Healthy, happy, strong. How can you tell what hair, scalp you have as you go? Is your hair dry? Do you feel your scalp? Is it dry? How does it feel? It's very basically simple. If the hair, is it oily? Like you take your fingers and you rub your forehead. Is that oily? Some people are like an oil slick. I mean, their scalp is really oily all the time. It's drowning because your sebaceous glands are out of whack. So doing everything that I'm educating you about is going to get your sebaceous glands back to normal. The oil glands have to come back to normal. But in the meantime, you scalp massage, you brush. I do that every day. I use elixirs, I use different oils, I do sprays. Diamond crystal mist. This is great for the hair, but also I use this on my face. Oh, it's wonderful. So this is an extraordinary moisturizer that I pump up. And whenever I go in the bathroom, I spray my face. We have top professional models in the world who basically, before they do their video, they spray their face with diamond crystal mist to open up their pores, to make it luxurious. And a lot of women say they use it to set their makeup. So when you put your makeup on, they spray the diamond crystal mist on their face, and that basically sets the makeup. But it's basically just opening up the skin. So I really like multi-usage of our products. I want to bring that into one of our series. So one product can do like 10 different things. Really. So that's why I don't have a lot of products. I only have 5 shampoos. I know companies have 50 shampoos. That's nuts. Even 20 is nuts. It's ridiculous. And conditioners, 5. So you don't need a lot of product, but they're multi-usage, which is extraordinary. All right. Let me see. If you had short hair all your life, visualize only making your hair grow extremely long hair. Yeah. So if you had short hair all your life and you want to grow long hair, really simple. So I have do-it-yourself cut your hair. Well, go on our website, watch the videos. I know you may be terrified, but being a hair master, that's where I started shaping hair at Kenneth's. And I cut my own hair now. So since I left Kenneth, I couldn't find anyone to do the level of cutting I wanted. So what I do is I cut my hair in 3 stages. So if you have short hair, you just wet the back and you pull it down. You just pull the hair. And if you have long hair, you do the same thing. Whatever length you have, wet it in the back and you pull it down, 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 and you pull it down. Can you see? And you come down as far as possible. Then you just snip the end. When you snip the end, you're sealing your hair because this is one hair, all right? This is one hair follicle. And what happens if you don't cut the ends, it does this. It splits. So one hair splits and it's going to split down, down, down till eventually the breakage is going to go up, up, up. So you see people with long hair, like the top hair is 100, then you have 80, 70, 60, 50. At the bottom of the hair, they have like 10 or 5%. Not healthy. You want to have 100% at the bottom. So you cut the ends, just, I cut my hair every month. I snip off the ends, just a little bit. But if you want to grow long hair, I strongly suggest that you allow it to grow. Just snip off the ends like 1/8 of an inch. That shocks the growth pattern. So when you snip off the ends of your hair, when you snip the hair at the ends, it's getting 12 to 18 acupuncture treatments. That's correct. It's like getting 12 or 18 acupuncture treatments. It's that powerful, but you have to cut it during the lunar cycle. And we're going to bring that into another session with growing luxurious hair with Anthony. All right, let's make it happen. Hope you guys are well. All right, so next week we're going to bring in the lunar calendar and the elixirs, and we're going to always go through all of the basics all the time. Then eventually I'll do a hair, cut your own hair. It's not that difficult. I've had so many people say, wow, why didn't I do this earlier? I just take the ends, snip them off, and you get free from the salon. You free yourself from all that, and you can do it whenever you want, how you want. Like, you just look at our loom calendars. You usually have 2, 3, or even 4 days a month to cut your hair. You can do strengthening, lengthening, thickening, root work, or beautifying. We'll get into that. You pick and choose which you want. You want to grow long hair? Do lengthening. Your hair is thinning. You're having hair loss, you do root work, you do strengthening, you do thickening. And even if you have straight hair, you basically cut it on a beautifying day and it'll wave your hair. Look, wave, lots of wave. See, lots of wave there. So you can do a lot of different things, visualize the end result. It's all attitude. And we have to be grateful for all that we have, and we have to be grateful for all that we do not have. All right, all my friends, be well, be happy, be healthy, be strong. Next week, 10 o'clock, let's have another session. All right, send me any questions, email it to Morocco Method and they'll send it to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be well, be happy, be strong.